GM to all muscular men in the chat. Unlucky, not me. Oh, my body. I'm frail and fragile. Unlucky. I reported you to the police over this setup. Okay. All right, let me explain. This is a shadow rebuild teaching stream because I have a lot of people asking me what to run if they have a shadow but not a Tbow. So I did some calcs. And a lot of people ask me, yo, mixed tide blowpipe if you don't have a Tbow but you have a shadow because you just need something for P2, right? Calcs don't lie. There you go. So like BOFA's way better on P2. And this is with top, bottom, gloves, BOFA, Blood Fury. That's it. Pronounce a word. Today is not Mixed Tide Monday. Today is Skur on my Re-to-Lay-Us Sunday. Everyone scurrious stream today! Exclamation point. Pog. So this is a very cursed setup where we are camping crystals or melee, and we are doing one-way BOFA because there's only one room that we are ranging, and it's P2. That's it. So this is kind of a very weird setup. This allows you to take unlimited supplies. I literally have 4, 8, 13 Sanfew. So the idea is we're just meleeing in this and we're hybriding to ranged for just P2 and we're shadowing everything else. You shadow Zebak, you shadow Akka. We're going to melee Bob, we're going to melee Kephri, and we're going to shadow everything for Warden. So that's the plan. Are we face tanking Bob? So this is mega overkill, but I'm kind of just doing it to make a point. You don't need, these switches aren't even really doing much for you. I will say, if you have a Void Waker, bringing that would be massive. And it's also a whack weapon for core. So that would save a lot of time. But I'm just going to assume this is kind of a fresh rebuild. Maybe you just barely have enough for BOFA. This is the thing too. BOFA's kind of not cheap. If you don't even have enough for BOFA, you just got a shadow and the gear for it. Running this is okay too. I calced it. And I think the P2 calcs aren't fully accurate, but it's close enough. It's 30% worse on P2, but you can totally get away with that, right? Like you will succeed with that. So if you just bring Mixed Tide and Blowpipe instead, if you don't have a BOFA, that should work just fine. When you whack Void Waker on core, you won't get 3 down without strength bonus high. We also have a DDS, so it should be no issue. 3 down should be guaranteed with the DDS, like only DDS, so Void Waker just makes it a bit easier. Oh yeah, BGS even, like, honestly, you could drop BGS if you wanted literally unlimited Sanfew, because BGS is not being used on Zebak, right? All this is doing is BGSing Baba. That's the only benefit. So like you could even drop that. But like there's a point where like adding Sanfew is just like so you can empty vials at the end of the raid for fun, right? There's no this is really overkill. We'll take the BGS at least, okay? And you can bring way more switches than this too. This is too much Sanfew. This is way too much, but I'm kind of just making a point here. You can get almost unlimited restore these days for a 500. BGS doesn't work on Kephri. You can still use it on Kephri. This is why I say Void Waker would be really nice because it's way better, but you can still BGS Kephri. It's not completely impossible to land it. I think it's around 30% accurate. If you have a bit more money, let's save an extra few hundred mil, okay? Torva Helm is excellent. Switches are really good. Pharaoh Gloves, Zerite Vams are really good. Assembler is good. All of those are a max hit. Crystal Helm is a max hit. Anguish is a max hit, right? All of that is fine. If you have the space and you don't care about these Sanfews, bringing that is good. I think even just 2-way with Vams and Pharaohs is probably better than any of those other range switches, because I believe Zerite Vams, let me check. I believe they're a max hit. Oh, they're not. Questionable then. But Pharaoh's Gloves are really good for meleeing, so. Oh, yeah. Eternal Boots. Sorry. That's my mistake. Yeah, we would camp Eternals here. Rebuild with Sanfews. Oh, Invos a second. Everybody's always asking about Invos. It's the same as everything else. We do Pathfinder, Walk the Path, Hardcore, no help needed, Deadly Prayers on a diet, Dehydration, no overly draining, no Overlords. This is the only questionable one. And I have Keep Back on. So you could turn Keep Back off, turn on Overlords. Ideally, with Shadow, like, it doesn't really matter to have Keep Back on. So I forgot to get pots. Oops. Even Monkey Room, it's not bad because, like, you just one-shot everything. It doesn't matter. Times a change. Look at that. Nice little volley. And we're done. Okay. Not a big deal at all. It's so dumb how well this works. I can get through the next room with no restore use as well. We'll just see how many Sanfews I can get out of this raid, basically, I think. One more BGS, you need 20 damage. Or not. Okay, big thing with Baba. You hit her one step to the side and then go 3 under 3 back. And then you do what I'm doing, 2 under 2 back. So that's how you get into Red X at the beginning. Very, very easy. And BOFA should be no issue. So the thing with the blowpipe setup, if you were running that, is you need to pot a regular ranging pot in order to kill the boulders. With BOFA, it's going to be no issue. So that's nice. Blowpipe should one-shot if you pot a regular ranging pot, let it decay. And you may need to throw it on accurate, depending. Blowpipe QOL for Monkey Room. You don't need QOL for Monkey Room. That's trolling. Is that without rigor? That's with rigor. It's pretty tight on if you one-shot the boulders, so... Oh, I need to BGS again. Forgot. Damn, dude. It's annoying. I forgot Thrall as well. That would help me. I accidentally sipped. Well, -1 dose. It's so sad. I don't think you need rigor. There's no way, right? Yeah, no. Okay, easy way to get in. We're going to drop a Sanfew over here. Equip a 4-tick weapon. Our best here is Curious. Poke it. Swap to Fang. As soon as you swing, go 2 under, 2 back. So that's a very easy way to get in, and it also gives you a bit extra damage. Still trying to land a BGS. Today's the day, I believe. We're almost fully drained here. Do you have to step back? You don't, but it makes her in a better position. Otherwise, she's stuck in the wall like she is right there. I'll show that. We don't need rigor for this. I shot Baba. Careful. I knew that because no XP drop. Okay, we make it. This is Curious Poke. 2 under, 2 back. So you can see it's a little awkward because she's in the wall. It doesn't actually matter that much. It just makes it hard to dodge the boulder if you have to. So I try to drag her back so you have more space to work with. You can do that whenever. So that's why I do that. It's not for timing. It's just better position. That's all. I believe the BGS will land this time. This is it. This is the one. Insane. Yeah, so if you had Void Waker here, you would BGS until 20 damage and then spam Void Waker. Would the Hunter's Crossbow with Mixed Tide be almost the same thing? So the only thing that we're ranging is P2. So you can't use the Hunter's Crossbow for P2. That's awful. You could bring it just for it to be easy for like Monkey Room and Baba Boulders. You need Blowpipe if that's what you're bringing for P2. Okay, so we got a Kephri. And it looks like we're going to have good levels. We're not going to have a level 4 Zebak. That's always a concern. Can you explain that this isn't max F setup? I don't know how people don't understand from the title, but... Look at that beautiful spiral. Oh my goodness. The golden ratio there. Even people on Twitch can't read the title. Yeah, but YouTube cares about title a lot more than Twitch, right? They should read it, right? They still don't. What? Gnomonkey? This is literally 2-build setup. This is not a rebuild at all. Giga. I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna click boss. We're good. So recip divine. Drops. Hey, that's really nice. That's really nice. You don't usually land. Oh! The spoon is unbelievable. Rebuilders don't have Ancestral. What? They should. What are they doing? Don't buy Shadow if you can't get Ancestral, right? You can poke one of these eggs for death charge. It's very worth it. Plus gives you free health with Curious. Which is kind of nice. Okay, and I'm going to wait out the dung here so I can trap the beetle. The beetle boy. Sometimes you are too fast and you got to wait hits, so don't send early. And I forgot, I don't have a blowpipe and I don't have chins, so we can't get the swarm. So this room is slow, right? But slow doesn't mean any harder, just means slower. Do you have okay range? You should have okay range defense actually in Crystal. So I think you could just turn off range spray. Crystal has quite good range defense. Yeah, it's just kind of handling it. Interesting. Good to know. And I landed BGS so we can just spam Fang specs. And you legit don't need to flick it all, but I'm trying to get 8 Sanfews out of this raid, so it's very important. Okay, you want to work your way over to the arcane. Deal with the arcane as fast as possible. Every 3 hits are going to make it jump, and if you hit over 40, it'll jump instantly. So it's jumping now. You can shadow it while you run up to it. Back to fanging. Cool. Not bad. Absolutely delete that with a shadow. And kill boss. Okay, I will say, I would never ever recommend a shadow rebuild. Like right off the bat, like people are talking about what you would do for a shadow rebuild, etc., etc. Don't do that. Don't do that. So this is more so aimed at people who got spooned to shadow. Like this is very common on iron accounts. Not having a Tbow, but having a shadow. Like a really common situation. A shadow rebuild is not worth it though. It is simply not worth it. Tbow rebuild over shadow rebuild. Yeah, don't do a rebuild. Not worth it. But I'm teaching it anyways. So here I am encouraging. Unlucky. Sell Shadow do next. Yeah, you're a Gnomonkey viewer. You know. You know the things. Try to keep the energy high here because it's going to be an issue. I'm surprised how tanky Crystal is. Like, I know, like, Bandos has way more range defense. But this is doing really well. Where are you going to shadow rebuild? Nex is better money than TOA, and also you'll get return on your investment faster at Nex. The only good drop at TOA is a shadow. So if you go to TOA trying to make money and don't get a shadow, you're never going to get gear upgrades until you get that, which sucks, right? Even if it is similar GP an hour, technically, the return is just so bad. Fang is 13 mil right now, by the way. By the way, there is no good drop except shadow right now. Okay, I used 1 dose there. We can drop the super combat. Level 4 Zebak. Okay. This is a good thing to happen in the teaching stream. Bad thing to happen to you. So level 4 Zebak is a 1 in 6 chance. It's very unlucky when you see this happen. You could choose at this point to do Akka first. If you see Zebak as level 4, then you've already got the downside. You can make your Akka easier, right? That's an option. You can do this first. I need to drop some Sanfews in here because I have too many. Make sure we pick those up. So the reason you don't want a level 4 Zebak is his attacks are ridiculously fast, first of all. And it can be difficult if you've never done one. But besides that, he has chip damage on his last phase. Those blood barrages you cannot dodge because he attacks too quickly. And also on Warden P3, when the ghosts come out that attack you, Zebak's ghost, it actually will hit you faster. So it is bad to get a level 4 Zebak. But sometimes you get unlucky and it happens. It's not like a reset situation. It just sucks. Okay, let's do a Zebak. A Zebak? Let's do an Akka. Brain? Pop Assault first. Put it back. If Akka's standing in this quadrant, you want to make sure he's not. So give him a second to get out of here. Be patient. You really don't want him standing around in here. Wow, this is cool. This is a cool thing Akka can do. I'd highly recommend salting in the room before this and entering instantly so this can't happen. XDD. Oh, he went straight. Okay. Well, I'll tank 1 time. All right, so when you're setting up Butterfly, you're looking for his true tile to be 1 tile away and then clicking to the next tile. And that's it. So big benefit of Butterfly, if you don't know, he has a chance to change styles when he melees you. If he never gets a chance to melee you, that chance goes way down. He can still do it when he does a special attack, but that's going to be the only time you ever have to worry about it. And it's also your highest DPS style. So Shadow is by far your best DPS here. So keeping that as your style you're using is going to increase your damage. I am shift-click walking through the Shadow to go through it. And the Tombs of a Masket plugin is how I get this big health overlay. This was a recent update. So you want to carefully watch your hits. I just killed it, so I know I'm good. You want to carefully watch your hits in case you need to do a DPS check. Okay, it's going to do 4. It's going to do 5. Sorry, it's level 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll fully explain how to do that when I get it the next time. But basically, you're just moving 2 tiles per action. So anytime you're moving with double treble, you just need to be running and not walking. So you're basically manually moving your character 2 tiles each time. Akka color radius mark. Yeah, so exclamation point Akka color in my chat, either YouTube chat or Twitch, is going to give you the radius I have. So this is done with radius markers, and it tells you what style he's currently using. You don't have to flick augury like this either. Just camp it. Totally fine. It is a max hit. You do want to use it. So 2 tiles per action. Standing on the icon. 2. 2. 2. 2. Just like Lola. That easy. So every time I transition, I'm clicking to the magic tile after doing a cast. And this perfectly sets me up to be in cycle on the other side. So that's why I have these magic tiles. Really, really nice. They let you go horizontally or diagonally. So that's how I do this every time. No tick loss. Gets you right into cycle for the next thing. It's really nice to not lose ticks because that's a lower chance that you fail a DPS check here. No tick loss means you're not going to fail. Or very rarely. So see how I moved 2 there to set it up? Now I'm actually going to have to walk because there was something in the way. But as long as you are intentional about what you're doing, it's not going to be an issue. Okay, so I do a cast at Akka. Cast here, go to the magic tile. I'm going to cast again when I get there. Go down here. And there you go. We're in cycle. Okay, come phase is coming up. There is a chance every time he does a special that he swaps into ranged. So you just need to keep in mind that that can happen and be ready for it. If you have keep back, he melees as soon as he starts his animation. So you need to be careful. We can just spam Fang specs. I'd highly recommend keeping a Kyrus up if you're new to come phase and don't know how to deal with it. So the way I'm doing this, and you're like, how is he doing this? This doesn't make any sense to me. When their true tile is 1 away from you, you need to move on the next tick or it's going to hit you. So you can just look at that. You can walk through them with that. All of that. So that's what I'm looking at. All right, make sure we get our restore. Let's decant. I've used 1 Sanfew. We're literally going to come out with 8. Okay, we're going to do Zebak. We're talking about Magus. I would say for first 500, don't even think about it because you want the ability to Curious when needed. So Light Bear helps you Curious more. We're not going for speed here. These aren't money completions. You're trying to get a Fang kit, right? Okay, we just enter Shadow, and you don't have to spec or anything because specking does nothing for Mage. If you didn't know, that lowers defense level. Mage doesn't roll against that. It rolls against defense. Rolls against magic level, and we're not lowering that with a BGS. So we're just gonna click the boss. So he's level 4, so the attacks are gonna be very, very fast. If we play perfectly, we're not gonna need a Curious. Okay, Blood's early. So the Bloods spawn every 3 Blood Barrages, but they randomly can spawn at the beginning. So it can be between 1 and 3. Before he spawns them. So now he's going to do 2 Blood Barrages and then spawn Bloods again. So there's a Blood Barrage. And you can catch all of these until he enters Enrage at the end. So you should take no damage until then. If you do have to cast at the Jug, which I don't here, you need to keep in mind that Shadow travels very slowly. So you probably need to click it early. Oh yeah, big thing for the solves here. You're like, how do you deal with upset stomach? Okay. The first solve is always going to be top left. There will be a Jug here, and there will be a solve with it going this way. Okay? The second time it does Jugs, you're going to stand in the middle-ish of the arena. Damn, I fucked up. It's Ogre. Standing in the middle-ish of the arena will have a solve. So that's what you're looking for. And he's also going to alternate. So the next thing is going to be Waves. That's his next special. And after that, it's going to be the Walls again. So that's Blood Spawns. So nice thing about standing on these red tiles I have is that since I'm over here, see how some of them are lost? They will actually never ever reach you if you're standing on these red tiles. So it's going to get up to me and disappear. So these are a safe spot. This also is a safe spot from Acid. I think there's a single red tile here. I think it's this one where Acid can spawn on. Oh, here's a Jug. Here's a Wave Skip. Okay. So you step 1 tile away from the true tile and then throw it. And that's how you do a Wave Skip. If you need to. If it's really, really far away. Otherwise, I'd avoid doing it if possible. So yeah, standing here dodges the acid, and it deals with Bloods on the opposite side. And you don't need to flick like this. I'm just doing it to make a point that, like, you have tons of restore. Okay, I said stand in the middle. So standing right here was the solve. I should have been over there already. That was on me. But there's always going to be a solve in the center of the arena the second time. And I'm just going to go back to the red. So again, Bloods can't reach me here. Perfect. See how no acid is in this area? That's always how it is. There's never any acid. So here, I don't need to do a Wave Skip at all. Yeah, I'm not going to do a Wave Skip. Perfect. So avoid doing it if it's close enough. Wave Skip is just needlessly endangering the run. I could have here, maybe. Make sure you have this green lane marked as well. This is your max range. If I stand here and attack, it's going to pull you. If you don't know about that with waves, you're going to get hit and it'll kill you. That's bad. Don't die. So right there, if I tried to attack with a wave, it would have pulled me in range of the wave and killed me. So you're going to see here, I'm just going to take constant chip damage. Its max hit is 15 if it's level 4. If it's level 5, it actually gains a max hit, and it's 16 with Blood Barrage. So you can never go below 16 health without healing. That's when it's dangerous. And I can just go to the other reds here and be safe, and we can stay here until the next one spawn. Because it works on both sides. That's what these red tiles are. Safe spots from the opposite side. And you can see I played well. So even the chip damage is not an issue. Just going to go over here. And he's dead. Easy game. And we're done with the raid. I've used 5 doses. I think we're going to be okay, boys. 1 dose was a misclick. Yeah, I could have done one Sanfew for the whole raid, and I misclicked on Baba, so it's going to be close, yeah. Okay, so nice thing about P1 is we have a Shadow. Shadow's disgusting for P1. It means we don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so we're going to tank. You're going to throw on Rapid Heal, right? At the beginning, and you're going to wait until you're up to 76 health. We're going to tank down to 75 and then turn Rapid Heal off. That's going to put us at 1 health, and then you're going to cure us. That's it. Okay, so Rapid Heal on. Let's go. And let's get out of range. So other nice thing with Shadow, standing here is a safe spot from UFOs. Okay, and I'm waiting for my health to regen. 76, there it is. Turn it off. I am absolutely nuking right now. It's very rare you get a second orb with Shadow. Very, very rare. So you'll see I'm 1 health, and I'm just going to cure us when I can. Make sure you pull a Dren as well. I have too little space. Too many restores, man. All right, cool. So make sure you cure us before Make sure you Dren before you Kyrus. I'm going to do something that you don't have to do, which is stand in melee range. This reduces the damage you take because he maxes 4 with melee attacks. The timing on this is just right after you take the damage, click melee prey. So it's very, very easy. You don't have to do this. It just prevents a little bit of damage. Anytime he melees you, it's saving health. We are going to DDS as much as possible. Let's hit Assault. Okay, so I'm watching his health here. You get 6 hits total. So this is my 5th hit and then 1 big hit. So we're using the BGS. Ba-boom. Okay. So I saw that he's not below 60%, but he's below 80%. So I know next time I'm going to get 8 hits and not 10. So I just need to keep that in mind. 8 hits is what I'm getting. Make sure you swap Thrall. And you can see this is doing fine. Like, it's not great. But this is the only time we're going to be BOFAing anything as a main weapon. So it's definitely going to get us through. Make sure you're careful with skulls. That can happen. It can appear dead center. So any switches you bring for range is going to speed this up and make it easier, but we don't need them. You can see it's really not an issue. Okay, let's DDS more. Okay, I'm going to keep a little bit of spec here. Make sure you death charge. You can get death charge off the core each time. So we're at 5 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits, and a BGS. And we get to Shadow. So you're literally ranging a single phase. That's what you're bringing BOFA for. A single phase. So it's not an issue even one way. Like, it's totally fine. Somehow just completely fine one way. How ridiculous is that? Okay, I want to make sure I get a Dren out. So you're going to want to do this ahead of time. No, dude. The click didn't go through.
Guys, watch out for this mystic.
Why? I definitely clicked. That was so weird. Does it prevent movement when you open the interface? Oh, genius. Yeah, we love that. Okay, well, don't do that, I guess. That sucks. All right. Drop. Sanfew. Pull things. And we're good. All right, we're back. Here we go. We're going to summon a Thrall. And we're going to tank down to 75 with Rapid Heal. No, why don't you take more? How is Fergie so giga? Okay, we're getting a second set this time. A little more average. I probably only take 1 orb here. Okay, so that's unlucky. That's okay, though. 48 max with Augury. Let me check if Augury actually does something. Let's just not use it now. So I get 8 hits here. Because it was above 60. So that's why I know that. Summon the correct Thrall. Max hit is 10. So you can never be below 10 health. Just go ahead and sip this. So I'm ready for it. So there's 10. Let's heal. And that'll be it for the healing. So now we're chilling. Did I ever hit a max hit there? Did anybody see? And we can just poke this down. I mean, I've got no use for spec anyways, so look at all of this restart. Oh, goodness. Summon a Thrall. It always starts right side. You can stand closer to save some damage because your Shadow's very slow and he nulls the hit that sends to Skulls. Skulls are every 20%. So you know when he's at 80% health, you have to start the first set of Skulls. If you are below the health I'm at, like under 100 health, then you can Kyrus the Skulls to get health back and overheal. Don't Kyrus if you are over 100 health because it wastes prayer points. And we're really, really concerned here. The prayer's looking extremely tight. I'm trying to flick as hard as I can. Not sure if I'm going to get through this. I'm very, very nervous. Okay, you just stand at the back. This gives you time to react to Insanity. Okay, just step there. And we're good. Okay, I'm going to drop a Sanfew here because I actually have too many. Okay. I have too many and I need to pull stuff out. I'm just going to resalt now. I can pick it back up. And remember, you don't need to be just anything that you're maging. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to help you, so don't do it. It's a waste of spec and time. So So don't go BGSing Warden now because you have a shadow. That's dumb. You're wasting time. Does nothing. But BGS Big Sword, that's true. I brought it. I gotta use it. Okay, so this is the last time I'm going to be close to him. So after this next down, I'm going to stand as far away as possible because if the opposite is true, he doesn't null that hit. And because you're casting from long range, that means you're getting one extra cast before he sends Enrage, which is kind of nice just for being on last row a little bit less long. So I'd recommend doing that. Very minor, but it helps. And people struggle with last row, so anything that gets you through last row faster is going to help you. You're going to want to make sure you're adrened here. That's why we have it. Now, I'm not going to use a Kyrus spec, but this lets you use Kyrus multiple times. And because we don't have a special attack, we're not using anything on him. We have a ton of room for Kyrus and infinite restore. So you can Kyrus over and over and over and over, and it should be free. It's at 5% on the bar is when it will send, which should be now after this cast. There we go. All right, so lightning comes in 3 sets of shadows, and then it strikes in that same order. So strike, strike, strike. Just like that, see? So what we're going to do is we're going to step on the first shadow as lightning hits it. That gives you a safe spot for a brief period of time, and you just repeat that. Make sure you keep your prayer very high, because that's going to give you room to Kyrus. So just step on this. You can also just dodge everything in the beginning. But on last row, you need to do that cycle over and over. Just like that. And you can see Shadow is disgusting. It's RNG whether you even get to last row. But when you do get there, you're not going to spend very much time on it. And you just keep following the pattern I just explained. Step on the first Shadow as it strikes. Over and over and over. Until he dies. Like that. Sub 40 with this setup. With 13 Sanfews. I used 3 Sanfews. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left over. So it's free. It's free basically. Any purples? 1 mil? I'll take it. Not bad for 500. I'll take that for sure. So yeah, if you're in the position of an Ironman that got spooned a shadow, or you just have a shadow and not a Tbow, it's pretty simple with this setup. Like it's as brain dead as it could be. It can't get much easier. I flicked. You can see you have 10 Sanfews of not flicking, which should be, I'm pretty sure Sanfew, this much Sanfew is 40 minutes of prayer. So you just have unlimited. You could just full camp prayer the whole time. Spam Kyrus a lot, just camp prayers. Like, literally doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to flick at all in the setup. Changes you could bring? Not really. The big thing is Void Waker. If you have it, bring that. Yeah, the setup is really easy. I would just bring a Void Waker if you have it. Chins. Chins is nice too. You can catch most of the swarms on Kephri, and you can clear Monkey Room a little faster. So maybe bring in those. Those are 2 Sanfew down. You'll have 11. 11 is rough. I bring 4 Sanfew for a money run, 3 if I'm feeling spicy. I think 10 is enough. Here's the invos again, one more time. No overly draining, no overlords, and I have keep back on. You can turn keep back off and turn on overlords if you are scared of keep back. Very, very, very simple. What is the price? I could check it. I think it was just 2 bill flat. Avernic is parched, so you need to add that as well. It's 2 bill. Mostly it's just the shadow. So this is if you're doing a shadow rebuild and you have BOFA, send that. If you don't have BOFA, it's okay. I would just do this. Just do that instead. If you are doing this instead, you need to pot a regular ranging pot to get through the boulders on Baba. That's barely going to get you the max hit needed with rigor. You may need to put your pipe on accurate for an extra max hit. Keep that in mind. Okay, that's it. That's the setup. So you make it sound easy, but it's a lot of practice. You need to learn Red X. You need to learn Butterfly. You still need to learn everything, but this is no flicking, no nothing. Brain off. I feel pretty good about that. That was way better than I thought it would go. Even that was sub 40. That's like, could you substitute Ancestral for Virtus? Okay, I've seen people say it a lot. Let's pull it up. Okay, Light Bearer on. We're not gonna do Magus because this is TOA. Okay, let's just check out Zebak. 5 max hits lost. 5 max hits. And we are maging 80% of the raid. That's a big difference. But 5 max hits is a shit ton. If we sub in Ancestral pieces, 2 max hits for 1. This is doable if you had to, but that sucks. And then the full set gets you to 80. Yeah, Virtus sucks for Shadow. It's really bad. Pretty easily done. That's why you always need the full set with Shadow. Shadow multiplies max hits tremendously, so you need all the mage damage you can get. Don't be just P3 if maging. What about Void Waker? Yeah, you can send Void Waker on P3. I'd recommend on P4 sending Void Waker down to about 25% spec left, and then Kyrus. Because that should regen. By the time you need Kyrus, it should regen you to 45, and you should be able to Kyrus. So if you have Void Waker, that's what I'd recommend doing. Adren up, 3 Void Wakers, and then back to Shadow, kill the boss. You should, with Void Waker, you should always, basically always kill P4 before you get to last row. So, see you YouTube. I love you very dearly. Go get your fucking kit, bros. Bro feast. Okay, I'm sorry.